are underway. Two-way and Duke's Elite going at it. That's the first matchup here that we have this morning. Here again of the preview series from Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware on this beautiful Sunday morning, October the 5th. Two-way across midfield. And the stick of number 11, that's Danny Stern. And he'll hand it off Charlie Rice. Again, a beautiful morning. If we were outside, you could see the sun shining. But we're inside here at the Chase Fieldhouse. My name, Ryan Holzbus. I'm joined by Ryan DePaul. He's your cameraman and our producer for this Sunday. Zach Morgan, he's the producer handling the ones and twos here on our production. As two-way will play it out to the point. It's Alexander Chang. He'll hand it off for Griffin Hart. Now here's Hart, 6 in black for two-way. Down the right alley. Going to get back to his left. Lets a shot free. Say lets a shot loose. And he finds the back of the net. Griffin Hart, 6 in black for two-way. Gets the scoring started. So just to give you kind of some background how the format of our day will go. Each of these games, they're 12-minute quarters, 4 quarters, and they're going to be running clock. And pretty much each game is going to start at the half hour. So this game getting started at 8:30, our next game to get started at 9:30, and so on throughout the afternoon. All the way up until 4:30, we've got 2029's first here to get started, our first 3 games, followed by the class of 2028 teams, and then class of 2027 will wrap up our day later on this afternoon. A whistle on the face-off. Dukes will control. Ball in the stick of Davis Bullard, 45 in white. He'll play back to the middle of the field. Gavin Nicholas, his mother a lacrosse player at Georgetown, very talented lacrosse player. A whistle as Dukes is trying to settle in. It's going to be a turnover, and two-way will take over and across midfield. Ball in the stick of 14 in black. That's Cameron Johnson, freshman who'll be playing at Hotchkiss. As all of these gents out here this morning, for our first 3 games, they're all class of 2029, all freshmen, so no high school experience just yet, unless they got any 8th grade experience. On the doorstep, what a save in goal for Dukes to get the morning started. That's LaSalle freshman Colin Kent. Collision in the middle of the field, and we will get a whistle. And a stoppage. And looks like two-way will take over and to try to get it across midfield. Starting the stick of Griffin Hart, the goal scorer here this morning, as two-way leads 1-0. Here's Hart. He'll trying to hand it off to a teammate. That was Alexander Chang. And the pass off the mark. And Dukes will take over from their own end line. And now to our near sideline. Trying to get it across midfield. Logan Cummins, LaSalle freshman, get a touch in the restraining box and hand off to his offense. Now ball on the stick of James McCullum, St. Joe's Prep freshman on the far side of the field, a long pole. And he'll hand it off to a teammate. And now trying to settle in is Dukes. It's Gavin Nicholas, another LaSalle freshman. And now Dukes to settle in offensively. Ball on the stick of Nate DeBlasi. Headed to Springfield High School, 2025 PIAA District 1 and PA State Champs for Class 3A. Along the far wing, that's DeBlasi again, his older brother, a freshman at Robert Morris. And a whistle. It'll be a turnover two-way to take over here at midfield. It's Hart, the Brunswick freshman. He'll step back to where our official is on the far sideline, and he'll kick off this next possession as we near, or I should say, just 4 minutes through. I was going to say near the midway point of our first quarter already quickly. Again, a running clock here throughout today's games for 12-minute quarters here for the preview series. Liam Adams, Don Bosco freshman, 16 in black to his right. Strong defense there by Landon Moore, 32 in white. Here is Meehan for two-way, 5 in black. He'll play it behind the cage. That's Holden Hughes. He'll be a freshman at John Jay, or excuse me, that's Jackson Wirtz. He'll be going to Brunswick to play his freshman season this spring. Nice job defensively. Colin Kent in cage, 24 in white, and a good job by the Dukes defense. They played across midfield. However, a offsides. That was 2 in white. Matthew Burt, long pole, stepped across midfield. So that is a offsides turnover, and 2A will take over, trying to add to their current 1-0 lead. Nearing the midway point of our first quarter, ball is in the stick of Cameron Johnson, 14 in black. We'll play it behind. That's Wirtz. And up to our near corner. And towards the middle of the field, it's Holden Hughes. Gets his right hand free, a bounce shot, beats Colin Kent. Holden Hughes will be going to John Jay to play his high school lacrosse. And he makes the score 2-0, 2A, off to a strong start as we creep up on the midway point here in our first quarter. As Hughes, a little nonchalant, and towards the middle of the field. Ended up getting his right hand free there on that goal. He's got a whistle on the face-off. And right to cage for 2A. That's Cameron Johnson, headed to Hotchkiss. Makes the score 3-0, 2A on top. Great job there by Johnson right off the face-off. Trying to figure out who we have a number 5 for Dukes. Don't have a number 5 here, one of their face-off men for Dukes Elite Foals. They're coached by Rob Forster, the director of Dukes Lacrosse. He is the LaSalle College High School head coach. Former UPenn assistant, played at Penn State and LaSalle. And assistant Kyle Long, he's current Springfield High School assistant coach. Off the face-off, ball popped up into the air, recovered by 2A. Quick shot saved by Kent. And quickly Dukes the other way. Melchiani, 8 in white, across midfield. Matched up with Luke Golden down the field. Now Jolie Palmieri get a touch in the restraining box. And out of the substitution box was Drew Selcher. And he'll hand it off back for Palmieri. Shot saved there by O'Hara in cage. First time calling his name here this morning. Quick outlet pass. It's Jack Anderson, and his shot finds the back of the net. Anderson headed to Brunswick. Again, all these guys out here this morning, freshmen, to start his high school career. That's Anderson on the transition. Started with the Blake O'Hara save on the other end. There it is. And then great job by O'Hara. Quick outlet pass. Finds Anderson. And Anderson all the way to cage. Nice slide there by the 2 Dukes defenders to try to cut off his path to the goal. And now 2A opting to throw a long pole on the faceoff. Nico Zapka, Don Bosco freshman, and Dukes will win that faceoff. Back to goalie Colin Kent, however, struggling with it along our near sideline. Nate DeBlasi looking for help, and ball knocked down. However, Dukes will be able to recover. Matthew Burt, and along the far sideline across midfield. Jackson Binsfeld will hand it off for Drew Selcher, who will carry from the point. He's matched up with Charlie Rice, 2 in black for 2A. Rice going to be a freshman at Choate Rosemary Hall. And that shot from kind of like the far wing up over the shoulder of O'Hara. That was Selcher. 33 in white gets Dukes on the board. Look down for a second, look up, and the ball's in the back of the net. We'll see it again here. Here's Selcher. Nice spin move on his defender. And it looked like that was up over the left shoulder off stick side of O'Hara in cage for two-way. And again, that gets Dukes on the board. Not that the score really matters, but obviously guys for both teams trying to win this game, but most importantly this game for recruiting purposes. A lot of college coaches watching these games. The ball comes over towards us. Looks like the table here deflected that ball away from coming towards my feet. Duke's ball on the restart. It's going to be Luke Melchiani as he carries towards the far sideline. He'll check out, and coming towards our near sideline was Binsfeld. Hand is off for Gavin Nicholas. Swim move on his defender. He's matched up with Danny Stern, Brunswick freshman. Pass in front, finds stick of Tommy Lemieux, and Tommy Lemieux finds back in net for his first goal here of the morning. He's the son of Springfield High School head coach Tom Lemieux. Again, the 2025 PIAA District 1 and 3A Pennsylvania State champs, 24-1 season. Nice pass there from Gavin Nicholas, finds Lemieux right on the doorstep, right on the crease, our near sideline. And he rolls towards top of that crease and able to find the back of the net with the stick in his left hand. As we're inside a minute, get that goal up there for you. 3-2, two-way lead. Scrum for the face-off. Ball still loose. We will get a whistle as two-way picked up the loose ball. It was Drew Rauch coming away with it. And it looks like we might have gotten a timeout, I believe, from one of our two sidelines. Or are they just calling it the quarter? And I believe they're just calling it the quarter as we are inside 20 seconds. So a strong first quarter. We will step aside. It's a 3-2 two-way lead. Goals scored for two-way lacrosse. Cameron Johnson, Holden Hughes, and Griffin Hart got the morning started. So we'll step aside for a moment and be back with quarter number 2 live right here from Chase Fieldhouse. Back here, ladies and gentlemen, from Chase Fieldhouse on this beautiful Sunday morning. We're indoors here at the Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware. My name is Ryan Holzbus. I'm joined by Ryan DePaul. He's your cameraman and executive producer, as well as Zach Morgan, the producer of our afternoon, or I should say our morning and afternoon, our full day of coverage here from the Chase Fieldhouse of the preview series.
This game being the first of a 9-game slate today.
Certainly, yeah. Full day. Thank you, Zach. 9 games. They're each going to start at the top of each of the half hour. This is our first. And a face-off. It was 5 and white for Dukes. I'll try to get a name for him for our next game, so possibly just a jersey change. And I believe it was Nico Zapka for Don Bosco, or I should say for two-way Don Bosco freshman. Still a scrum for the face-off. It's picked up by two-way. Sam Catanacci, 97 in black. And quickly to near wing, right along goal line extended. And Brady Meehan wisely backs it out, and now back up to midfield. Ball and stick of Griffin Hart. 6 in black got our goal scoring started. And here's Jack Anderson. Scored, I believe it was the 3rd goal. Excuse me, Anderson does not have a goal here this morning. That was Johnson who scored the 3rd goal. Here's Quiet. Ethan Quiet hands off for Jack Anderson. Tries to get his right hand free. Now his left hand as he gets back to his left. Ball on the ground, and it's recovered by Wirtz. His shot saved by Colin Kent. Kent doing a nice job through the first 12 minutes. And loose ball across midfield. Trying to get to it first was Duke's Matthew Burt. So I do have a handful of guys I see all right off the bat. That is Matthew Burt. I think I called it 2 in white, as I do see a 2 in white defensively. So trying to make sure we get that cleaned up going forward on names here. As loose ball recovered by Nico Zapka. Him handed off for Wirtz. As Wirtz was matched up with Drew Selcher. And two-way will play it behind for Brady Meehan. Meehan matched up with that other number 2 for Dukes. It's Logan Cummins, 77 in white, down around goal line extended there for Dukes Elite. as two-way has it up around midfield. Ball in the stick of Charlie Rice. Here's Holden Hughes. Has a goal here this morning in our first half. As two-way, a 3-2 lead. Here's Rice. Through Wirtz and behind for Meehan. And now Catanacci. Matched up with Logan Cummins. Cummins, a freshman at LaSalle College High School. Doing a good job against Catanacci. Catanacci going to try to get to the middle of the field, stick in his right hand. He'll flip it off for Hughes. Here's Rice. Dodge down the right alley. And back for, that was Liam Adams. And now behind the cage, Jackson Wirtz. Wirtz draws Drew Selchert, the shorty. Nice job there by Selchert. Ball on the ground. And Rice is going to chase it down along the far sideline. Selchert doing a good job, and really good job there by Selchert as he applied the pressure. And stepping out of play was Charlie Rice. And Dukes will now look to clear from their defensive third through goalie Colin Kent. Nice job there by Selchert. Now he'll carry it across midfield, split two defenders, and now head up looking for help. Nice pass, found the stick of Joey Palmieri, and then he was looking for that one more pass to Matthew Burt. He's the number 2 in white for Dukes offensively. And Burt was unable to come up with the pass, and now two-way an opportunity to clear defensively from their own defensive end. And across midfield was Hughes. Ball on the ground, recovered by Dukes. Gavin Nicholas sticking his left hand along the far sideline, and he opts to slow things down, allow Dukes Elite to make some changes as Tommy Lemieux will control, matched up with Jack Anderson along the far sideline. Pass down to goal line extended, finds Gavin Nicholas, and now here's Binsfeld. Back for Nicholas. As I mentioned in the first quarter, his mother, a very good Georgetown lacrosse player, one of the coaches for Dukes Elite, mentioned to me, make sure you say that his mother, that's where he gets his athletic talent from his mom. So here's DeBlasi. DeBlasi matched up with Danny Stern. DeBlasi will hand off for Lemieux. To his left, and his pass off the mark as Palmieri was unable to come up with the pass, set up to try to look like to make a quick catch and shot. And then the run out to our near corner, not like it had to be won by anybody. As it was a pass, a turnover, two-way will take over. I believe it's Jack Anderson to start with it. It is. Matched up with Burt. Anderson will get past the first, get past the second along our near sideline across midfield. And finds help. Cameron Johnson in the middle of the field. And quickly, two-way, plays it to the far sideline. Sam Catanacci. Here's Rauch. Rauch matched up with Jackson Sheffield. Freshman picks up a long stick and a short stick to play defense. Nice save there by Colin Kent. Dukes will recover the loose ball, play it through Kent. And now playing forward for Dukes Elite. Another thing I just noticed as well, 15 is Palmieri, the freshman, or the defender. So we have another 15 offensively. So we'll try to get a name on him as well to make sure we got everybody correct here. Ball on the stick currently of Gavin Nicholas. Know for certain that's him as he's got his last name patched on the back of his jersey. Here's Burt. Sticking his left hand, carrying, and pass out to the far wing. Drew Selchert got the goal scoring started for Dukes Elite as it is 3-2. That was our end of first quarter score. And no change here in quarter number 2. We didn't start that clock, but again, it is a 12-minute running second quarter clock as Gavin Nicholas gets to the middle of the field, was stripped. Selchert looking for the ball as it was popped up into the air, and the loose ball recovered by Drew Rauch. He's across midfield and right in front of his sideline, pushed out of play, and the whistle will blow our play dead, and a turnover. Dukes will take over. Again, right in front of the two-way sideline. Ball and stick of Drew Luviano. This will play it across 4. That is Joey Palmieri. And Palmieri will play it forward for the other number 15. Both number 15s with Palmieri stitched on the back, so we'll just have to get a confirmation there. The offensive attackman here, number 15. As it's Burt in the far corner. He's matched up with Luke Golden, number 7 in black for two-way. And now Zapka in defense. Charlie Rice, number 2 in black, been on the field for much of this first half. Nice job there by Luviano. Was going to his left, back to his right, and with his right hand free, sizzles a shot wide. Duke's Elite with the backup. It'll be Gavin Nicholas to start with it from the end line. He's matched up with 23 in black, Shane Sanford. Fairfield Ludlow freshman. Nice sidestep there. Believe that's Charlie Miller, 9 in white. Haddonfield Memorial freshman, however, he did get the ball jarred loose. Cross midfield and a shot from Luke Golden. And I believe he got skied up in the air off one of the pipes. Ball in the middle of the field and a scrum for it. Trying to kick it into the middle of the field was Logan Cummins, 77 in white. Loose ball eventually recovered by the defender wearing number 2 for Dukes. Melchiani will hand it off and head off the field. Selcher. Here's de Blasi. Blasi will be playing his high school lacrosse at Springfield. His shot off the mark, right-handed shot on the run. Headed north towards goal line, extended there on that shot. Here's Selcher, going to back his way in. A bit of a size advantage there. And a shot from the outside, that was Luviano. He'll be playing his high school lacrosse at Germantown Academy. Here's Burt. He's matched up with Shane Sanford. And now again that matchup, Selcher and Rice. Selcher 33 in white. And now a slide from two-way. Danny Stern, 11 in black. There's that was the attackman, number 15 in white, wearing that jersey. Nice outlet pass there off the save from O'Hara. Finds Charlie Rice. Here's Rice looking for help, trying to evade a stick check as James McCullum was trailing. Here's Hart. Handed off near sideline for Chang. Alexander Chang, Bergen Catholic, incoming freshman. Here's Ethan Quiet from New York. He'll be playing his high school lacrosse for Scarsdale. Brady Meehan will be going to, is at Conrad. All these guys current freshmen, just starting their 4 years of high school. Short pass there. Nice job by Ethan Quiet in the middle of the field to control it. He's matched up with Nate de Blasi. Quiet split to his left. Now a backside roll to his right. Split back to his left, trying to get his left hand free. A good job there by Kent. It was a weak shot, but he still had to get a piece of it to punch it up over the crossbar. Here's Hughes, left-handed shot. Another nice save by Colin Kent. And even better outlet pass, finds a teammate, Melchiani. And he'll slow things down after getting a touch in the restraining box to allow some changes to be made. Here's Lemieux. And for a moment, Lemieux will control from the point, dodging to the left. What a save. Blake O'Hara. Not too much of a change of planes there, but Lemieux working north-south, sticking his left hand, his strong hand, and nice save there by O'Hara. Two-way, trying to answer with a goal of their own, trying to add to the current one-goal lead. As that lefty shot off the mark, believe that was 15 Alexander Chang. It'll be Brady Meehan to start with it from behind the goal. Trying to get up north of goal line, extended with that jump shot. And he was never able to get that shot off. Ball on the ground, recovered by Duke's Elite. And I believe that's going to bring us to our halftime. Again, we got the clock started about halfway through. And we will get to half. Our score 3-2, two-way on top. No goals there in 12 minutes of quarter number 2. So a quick break, and we'll have quarter number 3 in a couple of moments. So don't go anywhere. Live here from Chase Fieldhouse, the preview series. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as you are watching the preview series here from the Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware. Start of half number 2 between Two-Way and Dukes at the first of 9 games here on this beautiful Sunday, October the 5th. Again, my name is Ryan Holzbus. I'm joined by Ryan DePaul. He's operating the camera, our executive producer here for for today. And Zach Morgan is your producer here. As we get going here for quarter number 3, again, these are 12-minute running clock quarters. And we got games starting at the top of each half hour. You can stay right here on this stream, so you don't got to go anywhere, as we'll be here all day here from Wilmington, Delaware, and the Chase Fieldhouse, bringing you the preview series as Two-Way will start quarter number 3 with possession. Looks like Charlie Rice along the far sideline will hand it for Ethan Quiet. And now Griffin Hart, he got the goal scoring started here this afternoon. Gets stick back to his right hand, was running out of an angle. And from behind the goal, behind the back, feed in front, that was 15 in black, Alexander Chang trying to just get the ball back in front to a teammate. Ball on the turf as Dukes was trying to clear. Brady Meehan will pick up that loose ball. Heading to Conrad High School, or again, should say these guys are all freshmen right now at Conrad, or at whatever prospective, or whatever high school they're at, I should say. To play this spring their first freshman lacrosse seasons. As Colin Kent will stay in cage, having a good morning. Number 24 in white for Duke, so we'll imagine that the other goalie, Cole Moore, we might see him in the other Dukes game for the class of 2029s, as both of these teams, the first of 2 games, BBL waiting patiently, they'll play next. Just had the schedule up. They will be playing one of these 2 teams, as Dukes will control from the far sideline, as de Blasi will hand off for Drew Selshert. And Binsfeld will carry from the far sideline to the middle of the field. We'll hand it off for Gavin Nicholas as we get whistles. As it looks like a ball got on the field in our near corner. There's the coach to kick it off. As it is the BBL team getting ready, that's over there. So one of their balls would just squirt on the field. It's Binsfeld from the point, matched up with Jack Anderson. Here's de Blasi, working to his right. Binsfeld with the stick in his left hand. Or excuse me, this is Binsfeld. That was Nicholas, Gavin Nicholas, wearing number 11. Here's Selshert. Tried to get the stick back to his left hand. Got a big hit as well, and a flag will come in. And Selshert will buckle over and go down to his knees as he spun, got the stick to his left hand, and tried to fling one more at Cage. And then right after getting got trailed from behind, took a shot. As he will get up to his feet. Coach is out to assist. It will be a penalty to come, a 6-on-5 man advantage opportunity here for Dukes Elite to try to tie our score at 3. As there was a lot of scoring in quarter number 1. Two-Way had the 3-2 lead, and we're still at that score, 3-2. Two-Way leads after, call it roughly 28 minutes of lacrosse. Dukes will start with it from our near sideline. Already behind with it is Drew Luviano. Now ball on the stick of Lemieux. Quickly, already this is Tano Navarro, was the number 15 offensively. And the number 2 defensively, William Kelly. So we'll make sure we get him called out when the ball goes down the other way. Here's Lemieux. Looks like he had an inside roll and a possible opportunity, but ran out of an angle. It's Gavin Nicholas. He'll bounce below goal line extended. Far sideline for Navarro. To the point for de Blasi. Back to Navarro, and his shot off the mark. Gavin Nicholas will start with it from the end line. Through Lemieux, through de Blasi. And Navarro threatened to let a right-handed shot go. Luviano unable to come up with the pass, ball on the ground, and a nice ground ball along goal line extended. That's Jack Anderson, Brunswick freshman. Runs through a stick check along our near sideline, and he's across midfield. Here goes Anderson, running through some stick checks as he was getting pushed down to the turf. Got a shot off the mark. And Brady Meehan, a good job with the backup, wearing 5 in black. As here's Drew Rauch. Rauch matched up with Logan Cummins. And Joey Palmieri, again, that number 15 in white defensively, 2 in white, Matthew Burt. See him there to the left on your screen. It's just jerseys, not in yet. Still on order here for, or I should say ahead of the fall season. As here's Griffin Hart. Again, got our goal scoring started in quarter number 1. He carries from the near sideline all the way to the far sideline as we approach the midway point in quarter number 3. Hart is matched up, or was for the moment, with Binsfeld. He'll check out. Hart left hand free, and his shot gets past Colin Kent. First goal since quarter number 1, and that'll give 2A a 4-2 lead. And here's the replay for you. Like I said, it was Hart carrying from our near sideline to the far sideline, and then gets his left hand free up over the off stick side, left shoulder of Colin Kent. And an infraction on the faceoff. It's against Santiago Loinas for 2A. And now trailing by 2 goals, Dukes an opportunity inside 6 minutes. Try to get one back here. Ball on the stick of Gavin Nicholas. Working to his left, he'll hand it off for Charlie Miller. Miller to the middle of the field, DeCecco. And DeCecco, his pass for Drew Selchert, finds the turf. And a good job defensively. Nico Zapka, the Don Bosco freshman, coming up with that loose ball. And he'll hand it off to the new goalie, it appears. And that is number 17, Landon Hammerling. Playing his lacrosse at Bronxville. Other end, and a goal for 2A. On one end and to the other, I believe that was Cameron Johnson, 14 in black with the goal. And again, it started defensively with the goal, or with the save, I should say, Landon Hammerling in cage. As that was Johnson, his second goal of the morning, a 5-2 two-way lead. With 4 minutes left to play here in quarter number 3. Face-off played towards our near sideline and then kicked towards the restraining box. Referee gets our play started. A nice ground ball by Drew Rauch along the near sideline. Hounded by 2 defenders, number 5 in white, as well as James McCullum, 22 in white. Ball still on the ground. As it is Rauch, 44 in black, coming away with it to check up in and around his head and neck area. Flag on the play as the ball hits the turf, and we'll get the whistle from our near sideline official. Cross check up around the head and neck area, as this will give 2A a man-up opportunity here. Opportunity to extend the lead. Here's the replay. Great job by Drew Rauch along our near sideline to fight for and win that loose ball, and then draws the penalty. And a 6-on-5. And Griffin Hart will start with it. It's Ethan Quiet. He'll play it behind. That's Jackson Wirtz, 18, played through Charlie Rice. Back in the stick of Ethan Quiet. Drew Rauch on the crease area, 44 in black. Up to Griffin Hart. 2 goals here on the morning. Nice movement from the two-way offense. In front of the goal will be Drew Rauch to start with it from below goal line extended. Here's Hart. Will step into one. And the shot off the mark kicks all the way back towards the middle of the field. So we approach 2 minutes. Left to play here in quarter number 3. 2A a 5-2 lead. Long outlet pass up and over the head of Griffin Hart. It's going to be a turnover here at midfield as Dukes looking to work quickly. Melchiani. And that shot, or I should say that pass, up and over the head of James McCollum. As Dukes is trying to push the agenda. We're inside 2 minutes here in quarter number 3, trying to see if they can scratch one across here before the end of the quarter. But instead, a turnover across midfield, Charlie Rice. Freshman for Choate Rosemary Hall, and we'll get a whistle. 2-4-6, not sure what the whistle necessarily was for. However, a turnover, Dukes across midfield to Checo. And he'll hand it off for Melchiani. Some changes to be made here from Duke's elite. Tano Navarro. It's Griffin Hart there, 6 in black, trying to catch Navarro sleeping. Here's Nicholas. Nice catch to ensure they keep the possession. Splits to his right, gets stick back in his left hand. Pass in front. Nice job there by Gavin Nicholas in front for Tommy Lemieux, who nets his second goal of the morning. And we'll see if we'll face off or if that'll just get us to the end of the third quarter as we are inside 45 seconds. As Dukes will get one back, 5-3, the two-way lead now. And they will call the quarter as we hit 30 seconds. So we will step aside. 12 more minutes here between two-way and Dukes Elite for the class of 2029s. Don't go anywhere as we're live here from Chase Fieldhouse for the preview series. Don't go anywhere. 12 more minutes here between Dukes and two-way here at the preview series. Ryan Holzbus alongside Ryan DePaul, Zach Morgan. Here as we got a full day of club lacrosse. The 2029s getting us started. We'll have 2028 action to follow and then 2027s. But 3 games here with the 2029s. 12 more minutes here between two-way and Dukes first as two-way leads 5-3. It's been action-packed. The first quarter saw 5 goals, and then there in quarter number 3 we saw 3 goals. A lot of defense there in quarter number 2. As we do have whistles, helmet comes off the head of Jack Anderson. And it looks like Dukes will start with it here. Off the scrum for the face-off. Dukes Elite, the number 2 club team, I should say, in Pennsylvania. Coached by Rob Forster and Kyle Long. As for two-way, J.R. Mastro, Vin DiGregorio, as well as David Earl, the founder of two-way lacrosse. And a pass up over the head of Luviano. Unforced turnover, two-way will take over right there in front of the Dukes Elite bench. Cameron Johnson has 2 goals here on the morning. He's matched up with 13 in white Jackson Sheffield. Springfield High School freshman. LSM currently holding a short stick, playing some defensive midfield. Here's Drew Rauch. Taking a couple checks. That was from Logan Cummins, 77 in white. Ball back on the ground. And a good job there by Charlie Rice. 2 in black to scoop it up. Ethan Quiet along the near wing. Split back to his left. Matched up with Selshire. Nice job there to shield his stick from the defender. Two-way quickly to our near sideline. Sam Catanacci will play it behind and over the head of Brady Meehan. Another unforced turnover, this time from two-way. And Dukes will take over. As it is early, 8:30 start for these two teams. They were both here. I got here around 7:30. They were both here already. Early Sunday morning from the Chase Fieldhouse. BBL ready to go. As in 10 minutes it will be Dukes Elite, or I should say after the 10 minutes pass, and then at 9:30 it'll be Dukes Elite to play again, matched up with BBL. class of 2029s. Nice defense there. Two-way Luke Golden, a Greenwich freshman. His outlet pass comes across midfield, skips across midfield, and Griffin Hart, 2 goals with the ground ball. Looking for the hat trick goal. Instead, a pass on the doorstep. Brady Meehan was unable to control it. But Meehan, pass in front, this time to Griffin Hart, and he was all tangled up, unable to get that shot off. Meehan controls the loose ball and finds Drew Rauch along the far wing. And now Anderson from the point. He's matched up with Luke Melchiani defensively. Two-way, making some changes. Ethan Quiet will check out of the substitution box. A little bit of an unsettled situation, but Duke's able to recover. Nice handle there by Meehan. So he'll get backed out towards the far wing. Now he'll dodge to the middle of the field. He's matched up with Joey Palmieri. Here's Anderson. He draws William Kelly, who was wearing number 2. That is Kelly, 91 in white. Behind the cage is Catanacci. His pass in front finds Meehan. What a save, Colin Kent. On the doorstep, Brady Meehan, a quick stick finish, and Kent with the save. A big collision here right in front of us along our near sideline, as that was Jack Anderson laying down some lumber, and a turnover, as it was Griffin Hart, who was detwigged, was going for a check along our near sideline, and Anderson muscles through right along the sideline right in front of us. And Anderson looking for maybe a goal. He gets tripped up from behind. Will draw a whistle. Ball on the turf. A play on until Duke's Elite able to recover, and maybe a bit of a premature whistle there, as it was Colin Kent coming out of the cage trying to secure that loose ball. However, the whistle will come as it got skipped then south, the goal line extended. So another man-up opportunity to come here for 2A, leading 5-3. Inside 7:30, as I mentioned. BBL ready to go to our right. So sort of just off the screen. And again, it will be Duke's Elite to stay on the field. They will play again, so a full 48 minutes. Or I should say more, double that. Full 2 hours for Duke's Elite, a quick stretch, and then 2A will play BBL, the final class of 2029 game. That game to start at 10:30. Again, each game to start at the half hours. It's 2A, man up. What a shot off the stick of Alexander Chang. Got his left hand free. He's heading to Bergen Catholic. Gets our fourth quarter goal scoring started. And a 6-3 2A lead. Let's get a chance to see that replay again. Good opportunity there for 2A to get a look there on the man up. Some offensive movement. You see Wirtz checking north from behind the cage. Nice job there by Chang to step into one. A 6-3 lead. Let me get that goal up there for you all. 6-3 2A lead as we hit the halfway point here in quarter number 4. Whistle on the face-off. It was Santiago Loinas taking it for 2A. And it looks like we'll do it again. This time it will be Nico Zapka, the Don Bosco freshman. Don Bosco fell to Seton Hall Prep, non-public A final this past June. Don Bosco Bergen County champs. Dukes off the one face-off, trying to control offensively. It was James McCullum who was unable to come up with the pass. However, he'll go retrieve that loose ball, and now Colin Kent looking to clear. Long outlet pass intended for number 5 in white. I don't have a name for number 5. However, a turnover will be Cameron Johnson to take over and across midfield for 2A, trying to add to their 3-goal lead. Johnson, a Hotchkiss freshman, as one of the coaches for 2A. J.R. Mastro, the head coach at Hotchkiss School. He was a 2017 Richmond graduate. Drew Rauch controls behind, matched up with Logan Cummins. Rauch keeps the stick in his, or keeps the ball in his stick, I should say. Faked the pass to the far wing, and then his shot rattled off the near side pipe, kicked its way all the way to the far sideline. Liam Adams, another Don Bosco freshman, will control for two-way. Here's Catanacci. Pass off for Rauchen as he gets hit. His shot saved by Colin Kent. And Kent will find McCollum, St. Joe's Prep freshman. And McCollum will carry north towards midfield. Thought this was William Kelly, but then we found another number 91, so we'll try to find who this number 2 defensively is for Dukes ahead of the next game. Melchiani will control and hand it off for Tommy Lemieux, son of head coach Tom Lemieux of Springfield High School. The 2025 PIAA District 1 and PA 3A state champs. Shot there by Lemieux, saved by Hammerling. We could hear it all the way over here. Two-way across midfield as it was Golden trying to find a teammate. Ball on the turf. Rauch trying to come up with it. Dukes playing man ball. However, it is two-way coming up with the loose ball. I believe that was Liam Adams. It was, or excuse me, 96 for two-way. I don't have a 96, but we'll play on. Ball finds its way to Colin Kent. And now near sideline, Dukes plays it across midfield. Matthew Burt, however, he's unable to find Tano Navarro. And I think that pass skipped to him. So at the 3-minute mark, 6-3 two-way lead here in game 1 of 9 here on this Sunday, October the 5th. The preview series here from Chase Fieldhouse. RDPLEX films on hand. As Charlie Rice will carry it across midfield from the two-way end line. He's matched up with James McCollum. Charlie Rice, Choate Rosemary Hall, incoming freshman. We approach 2 minutes to play. Johnson matched up with Sheffield. Carries to his left. Skip pass finds Sam Canacci. As here's Canacci. He's matched up with 15 Paul Mary. Hands it off for Wirtz. Wirtz gets north of goal line, extended his left-handed shot off the outside of the near pipe. Ball is loose. Two and white fighting for it behind the cage. Paul Mary will come help him out. And recovering the loose ball is Charlie Rice. Looking for one more is two-way. His shot off the mark, and a flag will come in from our near sideline official right in front of our little press area. As that'll bring another man-up opportunity, or did they just quickly pick that up? I believe they just quickly picked that up, as we'll stay 6-on-6 here as we approach 1 minute left to play. It's Canacci from the far wing. Pass to his left, found the stick quiet, but he was unable to control it. Ball back on the turf, out of play along the end line, and a turnover. Dukes will take over. Cummins back to 2 and white, as we should be wrapping up our first of 9 games here momentarily. Two-way, a 6-3 lead, as they'll likely win our first game by that score. Game 2 to follow at 9:30, so we'll have a short stoppage. Duke's trying to add one more, and they do. Jackson Binsfeld off, I believe, the Drew Seltzer pass, so it was Binsfeld saying, hold my beverage, just before we got out of here. One more goal for Dukes, a 6-4 two-way win. And as I mentioned, we have about 5 minutes before we get going here. Again, the next one, Dukes, Elite, and BBL at 9:30 here for the preview series. So we'll just step aside momentarily, our second game to follow. So don't go anywhere, live right here on RDPLEX Films on YouTube.